4 myths of protection needs. So there are 4 points here, 4 myths. One is not earning enough money. I don't need insurance yet. Second one, I have my wealth. I don't need insurance. Third will be, I am healthy. I don't need insurance. And fourth will be, I already insured. Don't need don't need anymore, or don't need any insurance anymore. So I think this could be a quite sound familiar to many of us, especially we stay young, and you may encounter the first myth first. Yeah. So I think the picture here could be familiar to some of you if you're watching a Singapore movie. You know, money not enough. Yeah, that is the reality that some people claim they are facing that situation. But in the real life, do these people need a protection? So let's look at the issue. Look at the cost first. Yeah. So the first cost is unexpected expenses. The second is bad money management. Third is poor economics. Fourth is loss on income. So I will go through one by one. Let's look at financial distress, the unexpected expenses. I believe some of you probably are not a local. You are migrated from outstation on other place to city like Kuala Lumpur. So you you will face a new challenge because of high cost of living. Yeah, and what we call it urbanization. The second thing, it could be a parental support. Some of you may have elderly parents and also build out your own family. You are caught in between some sort of like, or I call it like a hamburger life. You're in between. On the top, you have to support the parents. At the bottom, you have to support your wife or your spouse and the children. So this is something that we may not expect, because parents may need some medical help or things like that. Well, living costs in KL or a big city like Penang is not cheap. Yeah, so you need to have a good financial resources to stand by for that. The other issue could be a bad money management. This could be due to excessive lifestyle pursuits. We are chasing for something that good for our living. We want something like freedom, a choice, an opportunity. We have, eat a good food, a good health care, and so forth. So this is something that we actually, a modern society are pursuing for. Yeah. So all this incur costs. Well, there are some people are caught in overspending because of credit life. We use our future's money to pay for current expenses. Yeah. So all these things is actually can make ourselves feel that we may not earn sufficient money. Yeah. All right. The other two issue that I can pop up here, it could be due to poor economics, where people face the no income improvements, economics looks slow, stagnant, and things like that. So, well, it could be due, something to do with high inflation as well. Well, things that grow out so fast, the price of the goods, food, and so forth are grow out so fast. Well, the income has not matched to that growth. Yeah. And the last, it could be lost income. And this is what I have seen out there due to COVID-19 pandemics. Many people have lost their income or have an income cut. Yeah. And some of them completely lost a job, have to find a new jobs. So all this is actually create a financial distress, right? And all these factors actually, cause us fear that we never earn enough money. But looks back at the four factor, the two factors just now is actually controllable. The another two is very, I would say that is very related to the country economic situation. Yeah. So if such situation happen and you don't have a proper financial risk mechanism or a method to protect yourself, especially with the risk pooling mechanism, so what will happen? It could be end out a financial catastrophe, or going to a poverty line. We call it financial impoverishment. Yeah. So how this thing occur? How this thing happen? It happened because of if we don't have a proper risk pooling mechanism, chances that we have to use our own money, own saving to pay for health spending. And today, we know in Malaysia that most of people chasing for uh, a good life. There are possibility people prefer private healthcare than government or public healthcare, and all these need money. Even what you call it, primary care, like clinical care, all this need money. Yeah. So, so this would take up some of our money if you don't have a good risk pooling mechanism to ensure to pay for it. Yeah. So the second, it could be unable to sustain income due to illnesses and or accident. Young people like your guy, you still got plenty of years, 20, 30, or even 60, 70 years ago. Yeah. You will look at the life expectancy in Malaysia today is about 76 point something. So it's many years ago. Yeah. So what happened is something happened to us due to accident or due to some illnesses that we never expect to have, but it happened. So, would you be able to generate income again? That is a question, right? So, all these things, although you don't have enough money now, but if that situation happen again, it will getting worse. Yeah, so it will bring you down to a poverty. Yeah. So the third is the living debts to the family member. Usually people always think that they don't have enough money because they got a lot of commitment, car loan, house loan, or even personal loan. Yeah. But all these are debts to you. If you are not insured, yeah, the debt are not insured, especially car loan or personal loan. If something happened to you, it means that you become disabled or you be, passing away, and no risk pooling mechanism behind. It chances that the family member have to help you out. Yeah. So they have to come up a lot of money to pay that. And by the way, that is settled to the banks. Okay. So so that's one point that just now I highlight. Although a person think that they don't earn enough money, that is a protection needs behind. Put it this way. Yeah. So the second myth uh, is I have my wealth, I don't need insurance. This could be sound familiar to somebody who born rich. I would say that got certain wealth from a families or maybe successful in a career. Yeah. So the pictures like what you see is risk crazy risk. I think it's called risk crazy Asians. It's actually pictures what I'm going to say about. All right. So yes, you have some wealth, and how this wealth created and how this wealth was motivated. Yeah, it's actually start from social change. And if you're talking, look back to social change. What are the factors push of social change? The first ever factor push for the social change is actually political economics. In most of the country in the world today are moving from a socialism to capitalism. Well, money is more important to our living. Yeah. And this actually transformed the economics of the country from colonialism, developmentalism, globalizations that many of us have seen so far. And today, many of us talking about sustainability. Yeah. So all this push to social change. And what the social change I'm talking about is talking about human development, where we are looking for better lifestyle, we're looking for choice, we're looking for freedom, we're looking for opportunity, so long we have an income growth, regardless of economic growth. Yeah. So this subject is quite popular, by the way. You know, the United Nations Development Program highlighted very clear how the human behavior have changed, yeah, with all these economic and political change. And this create a lifestyle pursuit for them, yeah. So let's look further to this issue. And if this issue is not controlled well, it will create a social deviance, yeah. And what does it mean? It happened, yeah. By the way, it happened if there is no risk pooling mechanism. And this could be cause of inequality. That means you could be from somebody very rich or moderate rich, and it will bring down to be somebody poorer or somebody less wealth, and it will create the inequality among society as well. Or I call it social gradients. That means the rich and poor. And you know, rich usually able to pay for better thing, better healthcare, and poor unable to do so. So this thing is actually, I mean, could be happen because of a poor planning, yeah, poor financial risk planning. And what am I talking about? Is talking about sustainability or current financial well-being. Yeah. Uh, well, you have a certain lifestyle, but because of situation like this, because of poor financial risk planning, you need to downgrade your lifestyle. Yeah. So you can't able to sustain your current lifestyle. And you also may use your right pocket money to left pocket money to pay for go to your left pocket money to pay for certain thing. That will call inefficiency of mobilizing resources because there is no risk transfer mechanism method used here. Yeah, so this could be leaving a bigger debt to the family member as well, and it will create estate shrinkage, which I'm going to share later. So, well, the family members or the future generation have to pay for it as well. Yeah. So I think this is not something we are looking for. Although you have a well, the well can deteriorate. Yeah. So if there is no proper risk pooling mechanism put in place. Now we look at the myth thirds. Yeah, I'm running very fast. Yeah, so I hope I can be able to present it clearly to all of you. So the myth number third is that I'm healthy, I do need insurance. But if you look at the picture here, yeah, the guys look very healthy, right? But then the hobby that he enjoying now is very risky. Yeah, that's one sign to show you doesn't mean you're healthy. There's no risk and there's no insurance needs and things like that or protection needs behind. But beside this, the hobby or occupational risk and all this kind of thing, do you think you still need any protection needs if you are healthy? Yeah. So let's have a look. Okay, let's look upon the health perspective, the health demands theories that say by many health economics out there. Health is actually classified as a consumption asset. It's also classified as investment asset. Yeah. So from the consumption asset perspective, health is a durable goods. It produces output and depreciate with your age. Yeah. So with a good health, that you feel better. Yeah, you feel better. But then as your age catching up, your health deteriorates. Yeah, that is the fact. Yeah, everybody are facing that. And as you know, the life expectancy in Malaysia, just now I say about 76 over. And from the economic statistics says, the only first 88% of the life expectancy in that particular period, we are staying healthy. The remaining 12% actually we are facing health problem. So if I could use 76%, I guess about 68 years old, close to 68 years old, a Malaysian are living in a good health. The remaining of the years are not in a good health. Yeah, so this is a serious thing. If you don't save enough money, you're going to face this problem. Yeah, so we will look at the how protection needs can come to the picture in this area later. So now we come to the investment asset, health as an investment asset. Yeah, health is classified as a capital. Yeah, health spending is an investment with diminishing marginal return. It means that no matter how much healthcare that you consume, you take, it will go to one point that it will come saturate. Yeah, it will reach a plateau, saturation. So you will reach that stage. Yeah. So, but it will good health capital, it will able to increase productivity. You have more time, a healthy time to work, and the company will earn more money because you are able to produce more for them as well. Yep. So Now, look at the socio-economic challenge. Yeah, we have a good health, but they're, they're subject to all these socio-economic challenges. The first is aging. Yeah, aging is defined as the fertility rate dropping. Yeah, a second thing is uh, life expectancy is increasing. Yeah, so in Malaysia's situation, we have been told by many analysts, including United Nations and World Banks, a country is going to move to the age society in between year 2050 to 2055. In last year, 2020, Malaysia was classified having aging society, not age society, aging society, a one step ahead before moving to age society. But then, from the statistics show that Malaysia will take 23 years to double from last year's 7% of the population of age 65 above to uh, double. That means it become 40% after 23 years from last year. Yeah, that means it's 2043, which is pretty fast if compared to some developed country experience. Example, in US, it took 69 years old, according to World Bank, and in UK, it took about 45 years. And in France, it took about 119 years. Yeah. So the Asian country like Malaysia is actually facing very fast aging problem. Yeah. So that will also telling you that we need to be prepared ourselves more money for our healthcare towards our old age. Yeah. So the second thing will be epidemiological transition. This is talking about chronic disease, such as cancer, heart attack, and so forth. We are facing a more problem of this because as our lifestyle improve, we are many people less exercise, taking the wrong foods and things like that. And you can see from the chart here, from the statistics show that the NCD, non-communicable disease percentage of cases have increased tremendously since 1997. Yeah. So all this will actually warn us that we need to prepare our mind. Today, you may living well, you're making that yourself very healthy, I have no problem. But toward your old age, you're going to pay a lot of money for that. And it actually can take out a lot of saving from you. So what can we do? Of course, it's through risk pooling mechanism. But if you haven't done any risk pooling mechanism, they will create a financial catastrophe. And this is what's going to happen. First, you may find yourself uninsurable. The insurance company may not want you anymore when you have some health problem. Example, you have diabetes, you have hypertension. Uh, Most likely, insurance company may not able to take you, especially you are in a certain age, like 40 or 50 years old at the time. So, and that will actually, you have to have a good sinking fund to prepare for healthcare expenses to your old age. All right. So the second thing is steepening of the healthcare expenditure, high out of pocket money, as what mentioned just now. You have to save a lot of money. You must have a good sinking fund. Otherwise, you will end up borrowing. I have seen some people have to sell up a lot of property, have to liquidate the business, liquidate all these things, just to safeguard his life by paying more money or by paying all this asset to I mean proceed from this asset to the hospital, yeah, to the healthcare provider. So you will end up as financial dependent. You may depend on your family member, or you may depend on charity and things like that. Yeah. So um, this also indirectly telling you that you may not able to maintain your lifestyle, your income needs. Yeah, if this event happen, you may have a good lifestyle, a good food to eat, healthcare services that you enjoy, asset that you have. But if this situation happen, you have to liquidate. Yeah, so this is not something what we want, but risk pooling mechanism do help you. Yeah. So we will discover that. Yeah. We will know that. I think by now you should know that this could be something that you need it despite you are healthy. All right. Okay. The myth number 4, the last one. I already insured. I don't need anymore. I believe some of you may have some form of insurance arranged by your parents, or maybe you just came to work, you have bought some small insurance, things like that. But do you think it's sufficient? Do you think it's enough? Or do you think is that I'm overinsured or things like that? To know that, you need to understand your financial needs, or I call it protection needs. So let's discover this issue. All right, that's the distortion to the health creation. Yeah. One of the things is the human capital. Uh, you know, sometimes we spend a lot of money to acquire property, a car, just because for enjoyment, yeah, and pay for very high installment. But we forget that we are more important than all these tangible assets, all this car and house. We always undervalue that our human capital is actually worth more than these assets. Yeah. So can you imagine and how this human capital worthiness is actually when something happened to you, then you will know that this capital that you acquire because of your specialties, because of your skill, enough to fund you until your retirement age or until the day you're passing over. So that is called capital value. And to company, company you keep is talking about key person. Uh, is your contribution to the company. If you pass away, some proceeds pay back to the company to find a new people to replace you. Yeah, it's understood, right? Well, to the family, you are breadwinner. Yeah. So if something happened to you, I believe most of us will want sufficient financial resources that can carry on, that can sustain standard living or remaining family member until a certain age. That's what I'm talking about human capital value. Yeah. But most of us are always undervalue or always underestimate, human capital value. All right. The second thing is deficit spending. So because of some event happen, unfortunate event happen, uh, uh, chances that we have to liquidate some asset, we have to restructure certain asset, and we may not able to generate the same income like what we earned before. Yeah. So we have to change the job. All right. So in that situation, we may face a deficit spending where we have inadequate capital to keep family afloat. Yeah. So this is the some critical issue where you will end up accumulate certain debts. Yeah, during our lifetime. Yeah. So and the last one I would like to share with you is talking about estate shrinkage. And this is happen when the day you pass on. Estate means your assets after you that you leave behind to your family member. So shrinkage means that all the costs incurred that is actually decline your estate value. You supposed to give maybe you accumulate and you have create some wealth, let's say 5 million, yeah. But if you have never done a good planning, especially on the wealth preservation planning, you may end up half of them disappear, yeah, by paying all the expenses. The expenses could be come from legal services, could be come from debts that you are not insured, especially like mortgage, business loan, personal loan, and or even you act as a grantor to somebody and that person passed away and something also happened to you. All this you have to bear for it. Yeah. So it also could be due to a tax. Yeah. So fortunately in Malaysia we don't have an inheritance tax at this moment of time. But if you look at the developed country, they have this form of a tax that will take up more what you call it, value from your estates. Yeah. So if you're living far lesser than what you expected, so these are all distortion. Yeah. And this is what we don't want to see. But it can happen. And if you've never done a proper planning, you may not realize that how critical, how important to plan for this thing. Yeah. How to avoid this issue. All right. So if this situation happen, it definitely create wealth diminishes, and that is a form of very poor wealth preservation, and that I'm talking about. So, and this happened because again, it's a poor financial risk planning. Yeah, there is no risk pooling mechanism behind. You may find that you are unable to ensure decent standard of living during your lifetime and even for your future generations. Yeah. So because of some a shortfall and things like that in terms of capital that can be generated to fund for your family member when things happen. Yeah. Although you may have some form of insurance before or and be done in the early times. Yeah. And you also can create an insolvency or estate, presuming you have a huge debts and more illiquid assets that was actually push you or push the person to that situation. Yeah. So this is the four myths I'm today I would like to share with you. So if you still remember, it first is because money is not enough. Second, I have wealth. What for I need? Yeah. Third, I'm healthy. What should I consider insurance or or I may find there's no protection needs behind. Yeah. And the fourth is have done something. Do I really needs again? Yeah. Or do I need to look at my protection needs again? So this is four myth. Yeah. But the fact is all these four situations still need what they call it, protection, or a person need to find out what is his protection need.